Alright guys, it's 5TC here, back with another video. Today I will be looking at all canon J suits. There are some non-canon suits sprinkled in here just because I kind of thought it would be fair, like I'm including, because some of the ninja, most of the ninja may have like a full canon wave of suits, but some of the ninja, they just weren't canon, but they still make minifigures for. And I actually just recorded this video, but for some reason, like when I paused the recording and I unpaused it, it just did not want to unpause. So reason I do that is because for some of the minifigures, I don't have a full image for them and you will see it, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that this go around because I just recorded for like 10 minutes and the recording would just not resume. So I will probably have to find a better screen recorder at some point because this is going to be a problem. But yeah, for the most part, it does show most of the minifigures, but yeah, I'll have to do a better job in the future. But anyway, let's get to the video. First up, we have Pilot J, back in the pilot season. And honestly, I like this minifigure. I think it's a B-tier minifigure. Now, Pilot J is not my favorite pilot suit. I think it was between Kai or Cole. I like Kai's, probably because he's my favorite ninja, but Cole's is pretty good as well. I love the all black. But yeah, I don't really have much to say about this minifigure. The first variation, well no, this is technically the second variation we see of Jay. The first time we ever see Jay, like he's wearing the all black ninja costume. But this is the first minifigure. This is the first real suit he technically wears in the show. So, anyways, we have DXJ. I don't think it's any better than the pilot outfit. Now, I love the DX suits. I know some people in the Ninjago community don't really like it, or they don't think they're that good. I mean, I think they're amazing. Not my favorites by any means, but I think it's B tier. You all know how I feel about the Kendo outfits if you've seen my other two videos. But, yeah, it's basically just a pilot outfit, but with Kendo armor on. Nothing really special. I wish they really didn't need to make these minifigures. I don't know why we got them, but this was back, I think, 2011, so nothing we can really do to change it. ZXJ, I think ZXJ is probably one of the best J's out there. This will most likely be the clone, but it's just such the throne. I just said the clone. I meant the throne. This is probably the most iconic J outfit. Now, I love the ZX outfits for the ninja. They are just absolutely amazing. I wish we got more outfits like those, but yeah, they were pretty good for its time. Next up, we have NRGJ. I think it's an A tier. Back when Jay unlocked his true potential back in Season 1, back at the Mega Monster Amusement Park with Nia. I honestly think his true potential was pretty unique. Now, it's not really what I would have thought of, but I mean, it's Jay, so it's like he was like the funny, goofy, comedic character, and him going on a date with Nia at the Mega Amusement Park, and then he unlocks his true potential because he's trying to save her. That was pretty cool. Next up, we have Elemental J now. I love the Elemental Ninja, but I think this is going to be brought down a little. Just because I don't really like the blue and black color scheme. Now, blue and black can go well, I just don't really like it for Jay. Now, if he had the great armor, I don't think it really would have went up that much, to be honest. Now, as a whole, altogether, I do love the elemental suits, but Jay specifically, individually, I don't really like it that much. Next up, we have the techno robes. These were pretty cool. I think it's better than the DX outfits. I don't really think it's better than the pilot outfit. But I just love the color scheme. I think it's better than the DX suit color scheme. But next up we have Golden J. And I might actually do a video where I rank all of the Golden Ninja. But that would be a problem because there's different variations of the Golden Ninja. There's the time they went in the Digiverse, which was just Cole, Kai, Jay, and Zane. But there's also Golden Lloyd back in Season 2. There's also the various Golden Lloyds we got from Legacy or Core. And there was also the Crystallized Ninja back when they had gold in there. Even those aren't technically the traditional Golden Ninja, their suits were mainly gold. There was also the 10th anniversary, where we got the main ninja team and Wu as gold. So that would be kind of difficult. I mean, it wouldn't really be difficult, but the Digiverse Ninja, I like this outfit, but in terms of a J outfit, I don't really think it's the best one. And it's very unfortunate. I mean, it's gold, so gold would obviously win a lot, but I don't really want to be too unfair to the other outfits. Next up, we have the Stone Armor J. I love this outfit. Honestly, I might like it a little better than the JNRG outfit, or even though it's not really accurate to the show, I liked it. But the Stone Armor J, I love the Stone Armor suits. They are basically, in the show, they were basically the Techno Robes, but with stone armor thrown over them. But it's obviously its own print, and I think it's amazing. Now, Tournament J, I just have problems with this. I think it's maybe C tier, and it sucks because I don't really want to have the Tournament Ninja down so low. I love their outfits. I just don't really like it for J, but I love Season 4, so I think it's fair enough to put it above here. To put it in the B tier. Now, the Jungle Robes for J, I just loved how it looked in the show, but do I think it's better than the pilot outfit? Now, you say I obviously have a bias towards them just because they were so simple. I liked how they look. But, yeah, the Jungle Robes, they were pretty cool. I liked them. You know, I think it's fair to put the Deep Stone J above here. I loved that. It was mainly black. Now, I just complained about how they used the black for this ninja, but since the Deep Stone suits, they were mostly black, I think this works well. And I do want to say it's better than Stone Armor J. I love this. I never got it as the minifigure because by the time I started collecting Ninjago, it was during, I think, Skybound or Day of the Departed. And I've said this in previous videos, but if this is your first video, then the first time that I ever got a Ninjago set was the Cryptarian Prison Breakout set back during Day of the Departed. And that was my favorite set for a long time until I eventually got more sets. And I do have a story. I still remember the first time I got my first Lego set, but that should be another video for another day. We're here to look at Jay. Now, the Skybound outfits, I know I was kind of trashing on them, but I kind of like Jay's Skybound outfit. It's pretty cool. I used to have this minifigure. I like it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty cool minifigure. They don't really make minifigures like this anymore. Next up, we have Day of the Departed J. I love their Day of the Departed suits. I think they are some of the best. Honestly, I think I should put it in S tier. I love his suit. I used to have that minifigure as well. And I still have pieces of it, but I mean, it's not in good condition at all. It was basically the combination of their Skybound suits and their ZX outfits. Now, I do think it's a combination of something else, but I just love the Day of the Departed suits. I do want to put it above the ZX outfits, but the ZX outfits are just much, much more iconic, so I can't really do that. But Hands of Time J, now I think his torso is actually put on backwards. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could look for the front of the torso, but if I pause the recording, it's just not gonna work. So if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But I didn't really mean to put it up this high. I love Hands of Time. He's not really one of my favorite Hands of Time suits, though. Maybe I put it down here. But Season 8J, this isn't the full minifigure, but I think it's a pretty A-tier minifigure. Not my favorite Sons of Garmadon, but I love Sons of Garmadon. It's one of my favorite Ninjago seasons. I think I have that in number 3 for that tier list video I made. Yeah, I do believe it was number 3. Now, I will have to update that video because, Season 3, Dragon's Rising just dropped, so I don't know when I'm going to do that. I might do that video in a couple months. I still got to rewatch the season, and this is kind of unrelated, but kind of related. I was actually rewatching the whole Ninjago series to prepare for Season 3, and I stopped at Season 7. I didn't actually start Season 7 because the next day that I was going to do it is when Season 3 came out, so I didn't want to start a whole new season, and then, Season 3 is out, so, but I will eventually get to rewatching up to Dragon's Rising at some point, but, yeah, that's just how I'm going with my life. But season 8, Jay, I love his outfit. You can't really see it complete. Oh, season 8, season 9, I do think it's better than the season 8 outfit. I mean, it's the battle damaged. But next up we have Legacy Jay. I don't really know if I like it anymore. Legacy or March of the Oni season 10. Now I used to love the Legacy Ninja outfits. I still have some of the minifigures. Some of the minifigures are loose, but I don't really know. I think as time goes on, I just stopped liking them as much. I mean, March of the Oni was kind of a disappointment. It's so unfortunate though, because I feel like these could have been used as base suits, like for season 11 instead of the season 11 suits we got. Which reminds me, I don't really like Jay's season 11 suit. I think it's fine, so it'll go in D tier. I'm just not really a fan of it. Now, I believe Jay did use Forbidden Spinjitzu during the show, season 11. I could be wrong, but I believe he did use it, but I don't really like the minifigure. I think the minifigure it's not even really show accurate. I think it's a kind of trash minifigure. But I do think it's better than the Kendo outfit, so Prime Empire Jay, I love it. So I think I put it at the top of B tier. I don't think it's quite A tier yet. Now, Jay does have some pretty awesome suits. Some of them I don't like, but next up we have Hero Armor from season 13, Master of the Mountains. I think it's C tier. Now, I know, I was just trashing on the Hero Armor suits for Kai and Cole, but I think Jay had probably one of the better ones. Now, I do think it just deserves a spot down that low because I don't really like the Hero Armor. I liked season 13, and I do think I had it high up on that list, but obviously when I rewatch it, I do think things will be different. It might go down, it might go up, but I do remember a couple years ago, I think back in like 2022, 2023, when I would just go downstairs, like in the morning on Saturday, and I would just turn on Netflix and just rewatch episodes of Master of the Mountain while eating like cereal. But nowadays, I don't even eat cereals and I don't even watch Ninjago on Netflix on the big TV. I have a TV in my room, so. And most of the time, when I go downstairs, I'm just trying to eat something real quick so I can go on about my day. But, next up we have Island J. Now, I don't think I really like Kai or Cole's Island outfit, but I like Jay's. I think it's a pretty A-tier minifigure. Heck, I think it's even better than the season 9 outfit. And I do want to put it in S tier, but I think it's perfect right there. Scuba J is just a scuba ninja, nothing really special. This is canon to the show, but I think it's a D tier. I don't really have much else to say. It Crystallized J. Crystallized was such a terrible season. If you know, you know. Crystallized was just one of the worst seasons. I honestly think it was the worst season to ever come out of Ninjago. Now, I believe when it first came out, I loved the designs for the ninja, but now that I look back, I don't really care too much for Crystallized J. But I do think it's better than these other minifigures, so I'll give it bottom of B tier. Crystallized Golden J, I don't really care for it. It's just too much gold. And usually gold makes everything better, but that wasn't the case for this minifigure, so I think I'll put it bottom of C tier, bottom of B tier as well. Maybe I'll just put it in C tier. I'm not a fan of it. Now, this might be one of my favorite J minifigures. Now, I've never got this minifigure, but I'm also considering it as a suit in the show, and honestly, I think Jay's Dragon Form is an amazing. But honestly, when I do look at the other minifigures, there are better ones, so I think maybe it deserves its spot right here. I think that's perfect. Now, it's not like your traditional J minifigure by any means. Let's move it down a bit. Honestly, I'll just probably put it right here. I think maybe putting it right here is appropriate. Or right here. Yeah, I think right here might be appropriate. It's still an A tier, though. It's just not in the top 5. Now, this J is not canon at all to the show, but I still put it on here. I have the minifigure. I love the minifigure, but, like, the suit in the show, well, it didn't even appear in the show, so I guess I'm just purely ranking it off of the minifigure. I think it's probably a B tier suit. I don't like the mask, but the suit itself is amazing, but when you say the suit, you have to consider the mask and the armor. But, I'm gonna be so tired, because after this video, I'm gonna work on the Zane, the Lloyd, and the Nia tier list. So, like, and making this tier list was quite long, but hey, I'm doing it because I love making content, so, you make sacrifices, but I do love this suit, but I don't really justify myself putting it any higher, but it's still in B tier. I noticed most of the minifigures are in B tier, actually. I thought more minifigures would be in A tier. Now, this Core J is canon only in flashbacks, and I do love the yellow on J, but why did they use yellow? I don't know. But I think it probably deserves its spot right here. I personally really like the yellow on J, but now the next two minifigures are not canon, so I'm just gonna be ranking it purely off of the minifigure. But I'm not really a fan of the climber suit, so it'll just I don't really care for that climber suit. I mean, it's not even a canon minifigure, so who cares? Now, Climber J also not canon. I think I'm starting to grow on the climber suits, but considering it when it has the mask on, but that considered, I think it's pretty top of D tier. It's still pretty low. Now, the next two, Rogue or Evil J, I love Rogue. It's probably one of my favorite J minifigures of all time. I actually do have this minifigure right here. Now I do think one day I will do a video looking at my current Ninjago collection. I think that'll be a fun video to do. Yeah, I think I will have to get to that. And if you notice, like, why I just stopped, my TV kind of just froze. I'm not even on my TV right now, but it's just like froze for some reason. Yeah, that's not really part of the video, but yeah, Evil J, I think is truly one of the best J minifigures, and I'm calling it Evil J because I mean it's quite literally called Evil J. There's really nothing else to call him. But last but not least, we have Rogue. Now, I don't think they ever called him Rogue in the show. And I loved Rogue's character. But to be honest, I don't really like this minifigure. It's not really too accurate. Now, I love the minifigure. I just said I didn't, but I think it deserves a spot. Maybe right here. Yeah, I think it's just not really canon to the show. Now, the suit is canon. It's just like in the show, like I think it's like he had like these dark red goggles, but those are not present at all in the minifigure because the minifigures come out before the show, but they still had some idea how Jay or Rogue might look like, and they never actually called him Rogue in the show. I might have to look back, and when I eventually do my rewatching of the season, I might have to see if they called him Rogue, but I don't think they ever called him Rogue. But with that being said, this is my final tier list. And, yeah, I love ZXJ. It is my favorite J suit. None of the other suits have really came close, but the Day of the Departed suit, I really like it. Despite how bad Day of the Departed was, it's still a pretty good suit. Evil J, I love this minifigure. I just wish they made it accurate to the show when he had that armor instead of ninja armor. He never had this armor in the show, but you win some, you lose some. Deepstone J, I think it's an A tier J minifigure. I think it's pretty cool. Even though it's not like your traditional J minifigure, none of the ninja are really traditional ninja because they go on these weird, wacky adventures. But, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. The next video, at least, the next tier list video for Ninjago will most likely be the Zane tier list, just so I can finish off the 4 original ninja. Then I'll do Lloyd and Nia. Now, I could do Nia because she was Samurai X, but she didn't even become a ninja until Season 5. So, yeah, I'll most likely do Lloyd after Zane and so on. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, subscribe, comment to boost the algorithm and all that stuff. And see you guys in the next video.